Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BC, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. What's going on, guys? Now, after Errol Spence's recent 6-round KO of Leonard Bundu, Kell Brook recently came out and he said that he's not done at 147 and that he wants to fight Errol Spence Jr. So this video is going to be about this is my opinion. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. This is just how I see things right now. But I don't think Kell Brook is going to come back to welterweight, and I'll tell you why. For one, he's fight. At the 30-day weigh-ins, the 30-day weight check that WBC did for this fight with Golovkin, Kell Brook weighed 176 pounds, which is damn near 30 pounds over his normal fighting limit. Now, he's going to fight Triple G, Gennady Golovkin, one of the most feared fighters in boxing right now, one of the most destructive forces and best punchers. And that's going to be a hard fight for him. Even if he wins, he is going to take some punishment in that fight. The kind of punishment that changes a career. I really believe that. So that being said, if he fights Triple G, win or lose, he's going to take a lot of punishment. And Errol Spence is mandatory. Errol's been very, very vocal that he wants that IBF title shot this year. It just doesn't make any sense that Kell Brook would come down to 147, kill himself, lose 30 pounds to fight a guy who's younger than him, I believe, stronger than him, undefeated, good amateur pedigree. He's really the only welterweight. He really is only 147 pounder that, in terms of just pure size, can match Kell Brook. So if Kell Brook loses to Gennady, I'm inclined to believe that he'll fight at 154 because, number one, he's on record himself saying that he's more comfortable there. Number two, it's a known fact that for years he's been killing himself to get to 147. He can just barely make the weight. So with that being said, it just makes sense that he'll be at 154 if he does lose to Gennady. And then look, in the event that he beats Gennady, then he's the middleweight champion. So then that opens the door for other big fights. We heard Canelo come on record. We know Canelo says a lot of things, but Canelo said that he'd want to fight Kell Brook. So there's just a lot of factors here as to why I don't think we will see Kell Brook on 47. So let me just read the quote from the article that he had about Errol Spence. Yeah, let me find him. So they're right here on BoxingScene.com. Shout out to Boxing Scene. He said, I quote, "I think I will defend my title again, but it all depends on what is the biggest fight out there for me. I'm not going back just to fight anyone. I want to fight people that the fans are excited about. I want to be in huge fights. I become world champion, and now I get excited by fighting the best out there. So I will only go the way where the big fights are. Errol Spence will be a big fight, and he's tipped to do great things. There will be big interest in me fighting him in the U.S., and he's mandatory. So that's a fight that could happen if people want to see that fight. I will do it." Errol Spence also came out in regards to Brook by saying, I quote, "I want to shout at Kell Brook as soon as he's done with Triple G. If he's not going to fight me, then he needs to vacate and I'll fight somebody else. I definitely want the IBF title shot this year." Now, when we talk about, another thing I want to talk about is the IBF, because out of all the sanctioning bodies between the WBC, WBA, WBO, and the IBF, there's probably no sanctioning body that does a better job of enforcing their mandatories than the IBF. They have a good history of this in all the weight classes. So with that being said, I'm not going to sit and act like I don't know the exact date or deadline that this fight's supposed to get done, because I know they all have mandatory deadlines to make a fight. But I do know that it shouldn't be that far away, and I do know that there's going to be a lot of pressure on Brook to make that fight happen. And coming off the heels of a Golovkin fight, is he really willing to make a fight against a hard, strong puncher, the only welterweight who can match him in pure size, in Errol Spence? To me, it doesn't make sense. I know Brook is ballsy in a way for taking this fight and going out to fight Golovkin. I applaud him for that, but it's also a fight where he's going to make a ton of money in the UK, where boxing is really buzzing right now. And on top of that, really, I mean, Errol Spence it just did 6 million views on PBC, but the money isn't to the level where you'd come down and you'd kill yourself, 30 pounds to come make 147 to fight a guy of that magnitude, of that caliber. That's just how I see things right now. It's not the question that he might come back to 147 and he might fight a Danny Garcia. He might fight a Keith Thurman. We never know. Boxing's a sport where weird things happen. We saw Canelo happen out of the blue. We saw randomly just about a week or so ago that Cotto was trying to talk to Gamboa for a fight. Weird things happen in the sport. So he could be a back 147. With the way I see everything, the landscape, where his weight is at, what Errol Spence brings to the table, the money fights at 147. There are money fights for him there, but there's also money fights for him at 154 or 160. Which he could definitely make. He's big enough to make it. So just want to get this out there. Let me know what you guys think. Leave your comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dingus. So until next time, take care, guys.